Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Don Barry here, and as you guys know, we are playing with the Toronto Raptors in this fantasy drafted league here, and with 4-minute quarters. Of course, look at the roster really quick. Jamal Murray, JJ Redick, Seth Curry, Mirotic, Harrison Barnes, Johnson, Len, Teodosic, and all of them. But in these two games, we're going to be going against Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls. So a little trip, pretty close to us though. So let's just play this game. So who do they have so far? It looks like their best players are DeMar DeRozan, DeAndre Ayton, Lonzo Ball. I'm not going to say anything because they might actually be a pretty decent team. But from what it looks like, it should be a win for us. I'm pretty confident. Okay, but they do have Conley, Clarkson. They got some good players, so I'm not gonna lie. Nothing to be too afraid of, though.
At the center.
Biombo. I don't want to look at their lineup. But they do have Norman Powell, Clipper legend currently.
And a look now at the Celtics'
So always love to see a fellow Clipper player.
On Saturday, they'll tip off a road trip in New York where they'll take on the Knicks.
The
And
Clippers,
then on Wednesday,
Celtics have
they'll tip it off a
the
homestand
advantage
starting
right
with the
now.
Milwaukee
But in
Bucks.
real life, I
Let's
am
check out
kind of
Toronto's
sad though,
starting
guys.
lineup. Olynyk
As
is
you
out there
know,
with
the
Bismack
Clippers were
Biyombo.
bounced out the playoffs by
Then
the
it's
Phoenix
PJ
Suns.
Tucker. Then there's Murray.
So
And
it
it's
just
George in
kinda
at the
hurts
2
my
guard.
heart.
And for the Celtics, we've got Ball, DeRozan out there with Paul Millsap. Then there's Ayton. And it's Powell in at the 2 guard spot.
Hey.
Shooting foul as
Foul
the
by
whistle
Biyombo.
blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Already.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the
Hopefully
rim
he
like
doesn't get
that.
another
That's
foul this
your
quarter.
only option.
And here in Boston, Bill, the place where you received your master's degree in journalism. Talk about the Celtics at that time in the early to mid-90s.
Well, Larry Bird retired, Kevin McHale retired. They knocked the Boston Garden down. We were in the lottery for a bunch of years. It was a terrible decade, Kevin. Thanks for asking.
But still,
good
a Boston
luck.
fan
Is that a
through
winning?
and through, right? Huh?
Yeah. Well, I grew up, we were doing well, then we weren't doing well. Now we're doing great again. That's the team of the future.
Now Murray. Following the miss by Lonzo Ball.
good dunk.
from deep. And
Great
it's
crossover.
Murray with the jam.
Ooh,
And a
just
little
shook
jam
his
right
man
there.
loose
A little peanut butter
with
and
a
jelly.
crafty play inside.
And then the dunk just tops it off beautifully. Ball feeling it out a bit. And
good
stolen
steal,
by
good steal.
Murray. Pass to George.
Get it out to Paul George. And one.
And against
And
the
the
basket,
foul.
officials
You can
blowing
hurt
the
on
whistle,
that
so
and
a
one.
chance at the line for
Great
one more.
layup.
And hustle paying off there for George in the
Oh,
open
nice
court.
way to
Gets
convert
up court
the
in a
3
flash
points.
and finishes before the D can even react.
And DeMar DeRozan, an all-star many times over, and yet some have poked holes in his games. Where do you stand on DeRozan?
He's tough. You know, can you win a title if he's your best player? No. Can you win a title if he's your second best player? Unclear. And he's had a lot of at-bats now. He's been in the playoffs a lot of years, and he's somebody that has just been a little more successful in the regular season than the playoffs. He's got a full pro.
Great shot.
And he's good
Wide
on the three
open.
ball.
Nice way to.
And there's never been any
Nice way to get
question
that bucket.
about George's three-point range. He just goes through stretches where he knocks down the three at a ridiculous rate. And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you have to bring much faster help than that.
Now, here's George. He's got 6. Biyombo kicks to George. Out left to the wing. Just 5 on the clock.
Ooh, nice way to
And
beat
it's
him up.
Murray penetrating. Knocked away. And it's Ayton with the
That was
rebound.
ugly.
For Boston,
Gotta do
they've
better than
gone
that.
2 for 4 from the field so far today. You know, Bill, a bevy of
Nice
talent
read,
for the
nice
Celtics
read.
last season. How close were they to meeting your expectations?
They were about as close as I am living in LA to Boston. They were 3,000 miles away. It was an emotionally scarring season. I hated it. I didn't enjoy it, and it was a huge disappointment. Other than that, it was fun.
Open. Nice shot,
but
DeJounte.
it was painful.
Nice way to.
Panicking.
Nice way
When
to
you
make
have a
that
team
three.
that you have all these assets,
Nice
you
open
can't
shot.
figure out how those assets
would've
can
missed
come
that, it
together
would've
as an actual basketball team.
Embarrassing.
You know, that brings the point yet again. This is why we have basketball. It's not just about the players. It's about how they mesh together. That team did not mesh.
And the Celtics with possession here after Toronto got the 3-pointer. DeRozan They get it back. Off with the layup.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Here's
Finish.
George. And George
That's a crazy
with the
dunk.
stuff.
Yeah, you see
Crazy
the
little dunk.
athleticism
What was
George
that?
had on that dunk.
thought he
It's
went
so
on for a
quick and
second.
explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
We could have asked for a better first quarter.
Murray against Ball. Dishes it to Millsap. Back to Ball. The wide open look here for DeRozan. That
Heck
doesn't
no.
go either for
I'll let him take
DeRozan.
that all day.
If you can't hit that one, your teammates are going to think twice about feeding you the next time down.
And he
Good
comes
drive.
up with the
Good
deuce.
drive by DeJounte.
Murray's got 7.
Get out
Yeah,
to
they're
a
going to
quick
have a
9-point lead.
nice little run here.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long
get
time
another
without
stop.
a bucket.
Millsap has the open look.
We left him
Drips in
alone.
the
We left
tray.
him alone there, guys.
He has 5.
And I tell you, Millsap's one of
So
those
just with the
players.
last shot.
He just seems to get better every day he's been in this league, and more than anywhere else, I think that shows in his ability to score from beyond.
5 seconds. You know what, let's
So
call timeout.
timeout called here. The first for
Put in the
Toronto.
second unit in.
And guys,
and
this is
try to
the
see
first
if,
they're seeing
Jamal
of
Murray can
Boston.
score for us.
And we saw how competitive and entertaining the season series was between these two terrific teams last
okay.
year.
But it's
Maybe
always a
Seth
marquee
Curry, he
matchup
can
on
go
the
for it.
schedule. I think it's going to be another fun set of games between them this year.
Curry outside. No good on the last second attempt there.
I tried.
Paul George, he's been the guy making big.
You know, I had options, though. It's difficult when you have options. You have J.J. Redick,
And in
Miritich.
2018, DeMar DeRozan opened up about
Jamal
his
Murray,
Shame.
Seth Curry.
Yep, you love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and
Let's see if
tell
the second unit
his
can score more.
emotional story.
Yeah,
This
he
quarter
opened the
than our
dialogue.
first
Kevin
unit
Love
did.
following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes, as public figures, can have a broader impact than just entertaining, and we see it over and over again.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And from what we've
That
seen
was
so
really
far from the
bad
Raptors guys, your
setup.
thoughts?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
With the game being fast-paced these days, you can expect this from a lot
Come
of
on,
teams.
Barnes, all the way.
But they did it very well.
All the way, all
All
the way. I like
fueled
that.
up
I like
and
that.
ready to go. Let's
Looking
reset
like a
the
young
lineups
Russell
courtesy of
Westbrook.
Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor for Boston, we've got Zeller, Conley out there with Jordan Clarkson. Then it's DeRozan, and it's Melly in at power
Good
forward.
D on him.
Here's Conley. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. The shot that time, not on target.
Hold it, hold it.
Mirotic, the pass to Barnes. Stolen by
Ooh, that was
Clarkson.
a
And now Conley running the floor all
bad
by
decision
himself.
there.
Finished off the break.
Nice, the quick hands of Clarkson. Gets the steal, then right in the transition.
Toronto leading by 6. And with the 2K Esports League bill, players not only get a salary, they can also sign endorsement deals. They're celebrities now unto themselves.
So what are the endorsement deals that
Damn,
the 2K
come on,
players
Harrison Barnes.
sign? Is it like hat? Because you're not really moving. Nobody can people see your clothes? They can, right?
They can
So you
see
need
your
sneakers,
clothes.
hats,
Maybe it's a hat, maybe it's a shirt.
drinks.
All of it.
Do the announcers get endorsement
Clubs.
deals? Where's our
Well,
endorsement
if
deal
they
money?
don't, we could probably make the stab for it right here.
I'm ready.
This is the venue to do it right
I'm
here.
ready to do whatever.
Let's change the culture.
Nice shot.
CTC.
Yeah, we're cold. How do we go from scoring
Here's Conley.
15 in the
Good.
first,
And it's DeRozan picking up the
only
assist.
scoring 2?
Far from just a perimeter threat. I like watching Conley go to work with the basket.
Murray against Conley. Murray, no good. Celtics trail by 4. Here's DeRozan. 2 free throws
Yeah,
coming
I don't
up,
know
and
what
they call the
the
shooting
heck
foul.
is going on.
That's on J.J. Redick. Boston shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And it's a
put our
completely
best
new group for
defenders there.
Toronto. And he makes the first, but misses the second. George passes to
All the way,
Tucker.
all the way.
And he
Good-
finishes
good find
nicely
by Paul
on the
George.
layup.
I saw
Tucker's got his
PJ
first
Tucker.
points of the night.
I was like, I see
And
you.
the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
Well, Bill, yet another engaging conversation. Thanks for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Next time let's talk about the hard salary cap. I think the people really love that one. Yeah, I have some ideas.
You would make it interesting.
I have some luxury tax ideas. Yeah, we'll get super technical.
I would be here for that.
Okay.
You know, Greg, Bill Simmons has worn so many hats as a writer, a podcaster, a broadcaster. Now, it's nice to let him wear one more on our broadcast.
He's been successful for a reason, Kevin. There's a fearlessness, but also great humor in his perspective.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Johnson. The shot, no good. Nice D from DeRozan.
Cool.
George against Clarkson. Excellent D there from George. Murray left side. And there's the pass to Johnson. Outside, George. Ring shot on the way. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
And the mid-range jumper really right in George's comfort zone. When he isn't blowing by guys and finishing at the rim, he's knocking that one down with consistency.
If we had Curry on this team, if he would have been our first pick,
and foul on the shot, he'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
I would have just been banging out threes.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
Solid work at the line a season ago. 83% on his opportunities.
The 3 from George. That shot off the mark. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Raptors lead by 5. And we'll be back for the second.
All right, so first half, we still have the lead. I'm not scared. I don't think we're going to lose this one. We shouldn't.
Welcome back.
I think we're obviously the better,
outstanding first
team.
quarter for Paul George. He had 10 points and 1 rebound.
And of course, Paul George is leading the way for us.
And that.
But I just feel like I can't let them get close. I know, of course, it's like that with every team that we score in the game.
Pretty evenly contested game.
But I feel like we can easily blow it.
Making a difference here.
With that second unit,
Fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
Yeah, the offense looks crisp, and guys are hitting their shots.
So for Toronto right now, PJ Tucker is out there with the Linux. Then there's DeJounte Murray. Then it's Paul George, and it's Biyombo at center. Wide open look here for Murray. Tucker, the pass to Biyombo. Back to Tucker. 5 on the clock.
Ooh,
and
nice way to
contact
drive
on
in
the
and
shot,
get the
so
foul.
he'll be shooting free throws here.
Come on,
That
PJ.
one on Ayton. And if there was ever a definition of a glue guy, Greg, it would be PJ Tucker. He's so valuable to his team.
You know, PJ gives you production in every way, and his impact really goes beyond the stats. All the little things that coaches want their players to do, that's really the motto of Tucker's game.
Millsap looking it over. Stolen by Tucker. Here's George. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. George has got the lead up to 9 now for the Raptors.
I wish he would be able to do that in real life without getting injured, guys.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter.
Still one of the best players in the league when healthy. He's going to be ready for this season when it begins.
Pocket 6.
Kawhi, I think Kawhi is going to be out again the whole entire year.
Austin needs to get off a shot. Here's Ayton. And it's off from three-point range. Raptors leading by 9. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Now here's ball. Covered by Biyombo. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. The Celtics making a switch here. Zeller's checked in. And the Raptors also making a change. Jamal Murray, he's checked in for DeJounte Murray. And for all the drama surrounding Lonzo Ball's entrance into the NBA, one thing is for certain, he can play.
And Lonzo will always have the media attention, but the fact is he is a very talented player. His playmaking and passing was as elite as advertised from day one. Starting to find his spots on how he can score for himself, but everything else with his game is what you'd want from an elite point guard.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Barnes, he's checked in for Biyombo. Redick comes in for P.J. Tucker. And it's
I don't know, guys. I don't know what to do.
Kev, before the game, his college
Hopefully
coach
we
told us
can
that he's the most focused kid he's ever
just keep it
recruited.
close.
Zeller's showing great focus there, converting through that contact.
Barnes, right side. Now here's Murray. He's guarded closely.
Nice.
Count that one. Barnes has got his second basket.
Reliable score. Did you see that? Barnes is superb at getting good position and going to work from there.
Curry passes to Redick. No good on the three.
I feel like JJ, he's going to hit one of those this season. A lot of those, hopefully.
Pass to Powell, to the middle. Here's Ball. Kept alive. Here's Zeller. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. And Murray's got the ball here for the Toronto Raptors. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
Okay, nice.
And the confidence.
Quicker than I
Murray,
thought he
just
was,
so
really.
efficient from the interior.
Ball against Murray. In the corner, Powell with it. No good from outside. Raptors leading by 8. Ball's knocked loose.
You know, an adjustment that we could probably make is have Jamal Murray start
against Ball.
and DeJounte be off the bench. Just so he can give that
Passes up
second
to
unit
Powell.
some more power.
DeRozan against Redick. And DeRozan
You know,
throws it
besides
down.
that dunk, I think JJ Redick's been playing really good defense, surprisingly.
Finishes that one with some pop.
And as a
Yeah, for
three,
getting loose in the lane with a scintillating move. And it's Murray penetrating. It's tipped.
And registering one of the highest verticals at the NBA Combine, Zeller can send your shot back.
Back to Murray. He dishes it to Barnes. Teardrop shot. Zeller grabs the
6
board.
seconds left.
Zeller's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Hopefully that's
And
not
he
it.
got that
Yeah,
one up in
that's
time,
it.
but doesn't go in. The third quarter comes to a close. Toronto.
Why is Jamal Murray shushing the crowd?
And a worthy candidate tonight
been
as we
playing
take a look at our
horrible.
State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
I mean, well, if you're the coaching staff, I mean, you're pumped up. This highlight will not only make it on the TV, it'll make it into the film session tomorrow.
3 tenths quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. Clarkson is out there with Conley. Then it's Cody Zeller. Then there's Paul Millsap. And it's Powell
stop
in at
that.
the 3, the small
No,
forward.
no, no.
That's who's in the game for the Celtics. And it goes down
Conley
2
were to
points.
start making those,
Work ethic of Zeller.
this would be a
Now,
different
that's
ball
what
game.
makes him dangerous when scoping out opportunities on the offensive glass.
Here's Murray up on top. Millsap covering. Conley against Redick. The dish to Barnes. And the call
That was
on the
crazy.
shot that sends him to the line.
Nice way to draw the foul, though.
The 7th overall pick in 2012 out of North Carolina. Harrison Barnes won a title in Golden State. Signs the big
You know, in
contract
real life,
with
though, guys, I am
Dallas,
hoping that Harrison
but yet
Barnes
to achieve the
and the
stardom
Kings
that many predicted back
make
in
it
high
out that
school.
round against the
Andre
Warriors.
Ayton's checked in for the Celtics.
It's not that I'm not
Clarkson
a
finds
Warriors
Powell.
supporter or anything, but I feel like the Kings have had a poverty franchise for
13 feet
years.
away.
That they
The
need
shot
this.
comes out, and Toronto will come the other way. Greg, you look at Harrison Barnes. What's his best role?
I mean, Kevin, he's a hard worker, able to hit the spot up 3. Defensively, his strength gives him some versatility, just a solid contributor.
Conley against Murray. Clarkson on the wing. The 3. It's good from long range.
No, Clarkson loves to
4-point game,
drive. He's
guys.
also
4-point
improving
game.
from distance.
Toronto calls
I'm
timeout.
not really sure how I'm feeling about this. Not at all.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's
You know
swing
what?
it
I
over
am
to David
sure we'll
Aldridge.
be able to close
Hey
this
guys,
out.
during the last timeout, I listened to Nick Nurse talk to his team. He said, keep grinding. We're in good shape. Things aren't always going to go perfectly. Don't let that slow you down. Let's just stick to what got us here. Kevin, we'll see if they can build on this lead.
Here's Mirotic. That's tipped.
Tremendous at
We got
anticipating
him with the fake,
when
but
shots are going
he
up.
still ended up
He is
recovering and getting that
outstanding
block.
at protecting the rim.
Oh, that's in there. Conley with the assist.
30-32.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Feeds it to Barnes. Pass to Murray. From deep three-point range. No good on that one. Now the Celtics take it the other way.
And the Celtics are a team we're going to see.
Over to the wing. The three, Millsap. And again, Boston with the triple.
And they
Not
count
even
on
3
Millsap to deliver
Yeah, actually,
in
3 more
these
times.
big moments. And there he does.
In a division rival.
1:33 left in the fourth quarter. That's good from Mirotic
Nice shot,
on the
Mirotic.
assist by Murray.
That's where to get that jumper.
Mirotic has got 4 this quarter.
Take the lead.
Mirotic
You know,
is
it's
an
by one.
exceptional player. I
He
mean,
looks
he's
super
someone that
funny
welcomes
here. I think
taking
in
and
real life
making
he has a
these
beard.
big time shots.
That's
Time
why
call here. The
he's a little
Celtics
funny
decide to
kid.
talk it over.
I don't even know if he's in the league
They
still,
trail
though,
by
guys.
1. 1:29
Clear
left
the
in the
game,
fourth
Paul
quarter.
George.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Paul George.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His
So as
main
the
goal
Starters
has
come
been
back in,
to attack the
then you
rim,
lead by one
put
still.
the D in some tough spots,
Nice
and also
rebound, Paul George.
finishing strong.
The pass to Murray. The three from George.
That was a
Paul Millsap
nice
with
shot.
the rebound. The Celtics have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Here's Clarkson. Can't hit from in close. And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for Toronto. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Tucker. They get it again. Pass to Olynyk. Toronto working the ball around now. Here's
All the
George.
way.
Yes!
Let's go.
And you can't get a bigger bucket
Nice shot,
than
Paul
that.
George.
That's why they put the ball in his hands. They know they can count on him to make crucial shots.
Showing them why he was our number 1 pick.
Clarkson on the wing. Shoots the 3. It counts. And oh, that was an enormous three-pointer.
Try again. Okay.
Clarkson, game on the line, wanting the basketball.
Murray dishes to George. We got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Biombo, no luck. Time called here. The Celtics
And
decide to
Biombo
talk it over.
fumbles it for us. We cannot blow this lead, man. Come on. How are they going to blow this lead for us? Really?
Olynyk against Millsap. Ayton with it. Outside DeRozan.
Should I foul or... We can
Front
have a
pass
foul
the
to
arc.
give.
He's off from
Timeout,
three.
timeout.
And
Timeout.
timeout called by Nick Nurse.
You guys already know who's going to take the shot, Paul George. But am I going to make it with him? Who knows? 'Cause we can try to even lob it up there. Would that be a safer idea? Maybe.
Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively.
Damn.
And regulation now
He would have
complete.
got it.
We will go
He
to
definitely
overtime.
would have got it.
And we got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
He definitely would have got that.
Well, four
I
quarters
tried
coming
it,
up
though,
to
guys.
decide this ball game. Sit
That's
back
right.
and
I
enjoy
think
as we move on to
It would
overtime.
have been a better result than me just taking a 3. You know what? 2 more minutes to overtime. Let's go.
And so off the tip, it's Boston. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. So the
Such some
Raptors
good
5 right
defense.
now. DeJounte Murray is out there with Paul George. Then it's Kelly Olynyk. And there's Bismack Biyombo. And it's Tucker in at the 3 spot.
Well, they'll be happy
All
with
the way,
that
Paul
look,
George.
even
Come on.
though it didn't fall.
No, you're right. He take that 10 out of 10 times. You're not going to miss many of those.
And
Nice
I just
dunk.
love the aggressiveness from
Damn.
George. Just
Look at that
slicing
celly.
apart the defense with
That
that
little
terrific
celebration on
ability
him.
to penetrate.
Showboating. Where's the sportsmanship?
They're
Where
trailing
is
by
it?
2. 1:32 left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. Now, here's DeRozan, guarded by Tucker.
I don't want to make any dumb fouls.
Now the feed to Millsap. And Millsap
Just
snaps
so I
it
say
in.
that
This
we
guy
got a
is a
easy
high
bucket.
flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Murray, the pass to Olynyk. Now, here is George. Back to Olynyk. It's tipped. Stolen by Clarkson.
Everybody get back on D.
Out to the right wing. Eaton at the elbow. DeRozan against Murray. Back loose. Now, here's Olynyk. Guarded closer.
And one, and
Basket
one,
is
and
good. He'll get a
one,
chance for one more
and
at the line.
one. Let's go.
Hey, guys,
Get
when
money, Paul
George
George.
is cooking, you are in for
Get
a
money.
long night.
Easy money,
He's just
sniper.
fantastic at finding different ways to score.
Powell is jacked in for Jordan
This
Clarkson.
man is clutch.
That's good from George.
That's all I gotta say.
No room for them to make a mistake here.
You got to almost play perfect from here on out.
Here's Millsap. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on. And no secret here, guys. They've got to get a
Nice way to
3
clap him up,
before
Dejounte.
trying to get yet another overtime.
1 second separating the shot clock and game time. Boston, no good that time either. And an intentional foul right there.
And we are in the
You
bonus.
have to do that, though. You
We're in
can't
the
just let them
bonus.
dribble the game out.
Good on the first, and that gives
Yeah,
them
they
a
are not
4-point
coming
cushion.
back.
So he goes
Assuming
2
they
for
call
2 at the
timeout,
line,
yep.
and it's a 5-point game.
It's done.
And it's a wrap. Any chance they may have had
2-0.
for a comeback
2-0 to start the
just
season,
went out
guys.
the window with those free throws.
It was a close
Now
one,
timeout
definitely.
called by Boston.
A little
They're down by 5.
bit too close for my
8
liking.
seconds left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. What's your take, guys?
Yeah, trying to get back in this thing, they need a score.
Yeah, and quick. No room for error, no time to waste.
This one for 3. It's in.
Banger.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher.
Yeah,
Coach knows
8
it.
point
That's why they're running plays for
win
him. They're getting
for the
him
Boston
the ball and letting him go to
Toronto
work.
Raptors.
Thank you, David.
Let's
Great
go.
interview once again.
46-38 the
And
final
that'll
score.
wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber,
Leading scorers were Paul Millsap for the Celtics. And for us, of course, Paul George. Getting buckets. Big buckets, guys. Getting buckets easily. Let's hop into this next game against the Chicago Bulls. They got Jokic, Gordon, VanVleet, McCollum, and Hood. I think they're a little bit better than the Celtics were, which may be scary for us. You know, to start, I'm gonna put in DeJounte. I'll put Reddick, Jamal, JJ, Paul George. Let's put in Olynyk and Biyombo and then second unit. Is that a good second unit? Yeah. That should be cool. Should be. I don't know if it's going to backfire though,
and a
guys.
little bit of a fashion show taking place as the Bulls came down the
what?
tunnel earlier on.
It's the first time I noticed that.
Well,
They
from
have
tremendous
them in like the little
athleticism.
suits and
Thanks,
stuff.
DA. And a chance now to look at the
I wonder
schedule for
if
Chicago.
Westbrook comes in a suit though.
On Monday,
comes
they'll
in like
tip
some
off a road
crazy
trip in New York where they'll
outfit.
take on the Knicks. Then on Wednesday, They'll be facing Drew Holiday and the Cleveland
So
Cavaliers.
we are here in the United
Kevin,
Center,
I think
of
you
course, in
have to
Chicago.
look at this as an opportunity
Fun fact,
to
guys,
take
I
a
actually
step forward. Sometimes tough
went there
road trips
once.
can bring the best out of a team and
forgot
bring
what game
you
it was,
closer
but
together.
I'm not lying,
Here are the
really.
5 for the Raptors.
I went
Jamal
to
Murray
his
is out
family,
there
and
with J.J. Redick.
I also went
Then it's
to
Paul
see a game.
George.
I believe it
Then
was
it's
a
Olynyk.
preseason, though.
And it's Biyombo at the 5 down low.
Or actually,
And for Chicago,
it was,
Good
no,
out
not
there with
preseason.
Aaron
I went
Gordon.
during the spring
Then
break.
there's McCollum.
My 8th
And it's
grade year.
Nikola Jokic. And it's Van Vliet in at the point.
And I've
But
just been
unfortunately,
so
Derrick Rose was
impressed
not
with
playing.
the way
He's the reason I
Jamal
went,
Murray
and he
has
wasn't even
added
playing.
to his game.
Unfortunately.
Keeps pushing himself every offseason to make the most of his abilities as a player and continues to be a consistent threat from the outside.
Count it.
You can
layup.
see there's complete
layup.
trust in Paul George and pick and rolls. Fantastic at taking advantage of the defense and the separation they give him.
Here's Van Vliet. The shot's good. Van Vliet's got his second bucket of the night. And with Murray, Greg, you forget how young he is. He entered the NBA right out of his freshman year at Kentucky.
I mean, Murray was taken 7th in his draft and has kind of flown under the radar from that class. But the more you watch him, the more you feel like you're seeing a star in the making. And with the pace
They're
of
off to a
today's
good
game, transition defense is at a premium.
I don't think anyone was catching him on that play. That is unbelievable.
Goes up on the high post.
Nice jumper.
And another basket for Toronto.
Well, the efficiency with the mid-range game, Paul George has always possessed.
Gordon kicks to McCollum. Kicks it out to Gordon. Fires from deep.
Heck no.
They get it back. And it's out of bounds.
Our
The
ball,
Raptors will
let's
take
go,
it the
let's
other
go.
way.
All right,
Ain't
a
that our
chance to
ball?
take a look
Ain't it
at
our
some
ball?
stats for Murray. Last year, getting it done.
All right.
He averaged 18
So
points a
DeJounte's
game,
game.
5 assists, and 4 rebounds. And when he takes over at the point, he really keeps the offense flowing.
Well, this is a guy who brings a solid skill set. Excellent ball handler, high level of playmaking, the perfect backup point.
Outside, Redick. No good on the shot. And the
It
Bulls
was a good
going
shot.
the other way now.
It just didn't go in.
The Toronto Raptors 2 summers ago making bold moves. Think about it. You trade away a franchise
good block.
cornerstone in
Really good
DeMar
block on
DeRozan.
Gordon.
You fired Dwayne Casey in his Coach of the Year season, but it paid off in a huge way.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Taj Gibson's checked in for Jokic. Mike Powell comes in for Hood. Karis LeVert's checked in for C.J. McCollum. And it's Burke in for Fred Van Vliet. These are the players who had the most success from deep last
I think
season.
they're just way
Look
smaller
at
than us.
Curry,
That's
third
what
in
it
the
is.
NBA. He's someone that if you leave him alone,
The
he's going to
guards
knock it
don't
down.
seem that good.
The
Who
bucket
is that? Trey Burke?
must have looked
Karis
3
LeVert?
feet wide to him last year. I mean, very
DeJounte should be able to
deserving
just
in
run
terms of that
circles around.
spot among the league leaders from 3.
And the front office in Toronto Doris
Yep.
took a lot of heat for those changes
not
you were just
predicting.
talking about.
Kev, their point guard Kyle Lowry wouldn't even talk to the president for much of the season. But the feeling was, from the management, in order for this team to break through, changes had to be made.
Mirotic brings the double team. Powell with the bounce pass.
Come on, Curry, stick in front of him.
Barnes against LeVert. 4 on the clock. From deep. Barnes grabs the miss.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing. Want easy looks?
Okay.
Don't allow the defense
My favorite
to
player
set
on
up.
this team is
What
probably
a
DeJounte.
beautiful fast break opportunity.
I was
and
actually
the
a really
finish
big fan of
pretty
his when
good.
he was on San Antonio.
Outside Gibson.
First got drafted. He's a really good ball player, but then ever since he got
And
traded
here in
to
the first
Atlanta
quarter,
this
with a little over
offseason,
3.5
last
minutes
offseason,
played.
I don't know. This
Shoots
was
from
the same
14.
player.
And again, no good by Chicago.
Well, certainly not the best defensive effort, but this guy can't make them pay for their laziness.
Yep, that one goes.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
And we retake the lead there.
Now
When we
here's
keep
Burke,
it. It's actually
guarded
the
by
second
Curry.
quarter.
Pass to Gordon. Good D by Barnes.
I was gonna call a timeout too, guys. I thought we were gonna at least get 2 seconds up there. It's all right. Who are they gonna be interviewing here?
Nikola Jokic, a former second-round pick, turned star in the league. In basketball, Greg, a big deal in Jokic's native land of Serbia.
And I love his creativity. There's an artistry and a freedom in how he plays the game.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard.
Ooh, nice.
And from what we've seen so far from the Raptors, guys, your thoughts?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So the Raptors 5 right now. Heritage is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then there's Murray. Then there's Harrison Barnes.
Insane.
And it's Curry in at the shooting guard position.
A lot of
competitors in this league, Doris, and you've got to be that way to play at this level. And I know you have a list of competitors that you admire a lot.
It's those guys, Kevin, who have that insatiable desire to win. The guys who absolutely despise
Yeah, putting
losing.
DeJounte in the second unit,
It's painful
definitely
physically.
game
Giannis
changer.
Antetokounmpo is driven to be great. He wants an NBA championship. LeBron James has got multiple titles and continues to pursue greatness. What I love about great NBA players, it's never enough, Kevin.
That one's good.
He's definitely the best player on the,
down to 2 on the bucket from
court
LeVert.
right now.
This is yet another example of the growth
And we're
of
in the
Karis
game still
LeVert. You
because of
almost
8
have
points
to have
already?
that floater game in your arsenal.
So timeout called here. The first for Toronto. A live body off the bench. Dwight Powell gives you productive minutes.
He does, Kevin, and that's most reflected in the plus-minus when you look at his stats. This is a guy who hasn't averaged a ton of minutes, but he scores and he defends at a high level when he's given those minutes.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Jokic, he's checked in for Gibson. Rodney Hood comes in for Gordon. C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for Karis LeVert. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Trey Burke. Here's Hood, rejected by Biyombo.
Oh, good block.
Well, Biyombo's calling card, right? A terrific shot blocker. Boy, put it in his vicinity. He's sending it back.
Good on the bucket. George has got the lead up to 4 now for the Raptors.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot
needs
of
to shoot
pressure
more.
on the interior
They need to give him the ball.
defenders with their work down low.
Out to the wing. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. No good from the wing.
Boy, he'll usually knock it down if he's left that wide open. Just comes up empty.
And George with the stuff.
How about Paul George? Puts it on the deck, uses that explosive quickness. This guy is really hard to contain.
VanVleet looking around.
I'm trying to remember if JJ was still a starter at
to
this point.
McCollum.
I know he was playing for the 76ers around this
Lets
time.
it go from 11. Nice jump shot. Good. McCollum's got his second basket of the game.
And that's an element McCollum brings to their offense, the ability to drain the outside shot. It stretches the defense and makes them keep bodies on the perimeter.
Outside for Murray.
That
His
was
second
nice.
shot goes in.
That was
Off to a
beautiful.
good start. 2 for 2.
And even at 6'5", Murray just elevates high inside for
What
these
the, Jamal
buckets.
Murray,
A high
6'5"?
percentage shooter down low.
Jokic.
Oh, good
It's
D.
Biyombo with the rebound.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
And
And
one.
he gets it to go as they
And
call the
one.
foul.
Let's
He's on his
go.
way to the line for one more.
Boy, when he's this deep, it's going to be tough to stop him, especially with a smaller defender.
The Raptors shooting their first free throw attempt on the night. And hard to believe that gruesome injury Paul George suffered, what was it now, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
It's
no way.
incredible, Kevin, to think
they
for a
can
player to
contain
come
us.
back from what we expected to be a devastating injury. This is an incredible story for Paul George. He took the time he needed, and consider last year, for much of the season, he was very much involved in that MVP conversation.
And Murray, here we go. He can't get it to go. Good defense by Jokic. Bulls trail by 7. And it's Hood in the corner. Now So here's Van Vliet.
Are they gonna hold
He's
it for the
covered
last
by Murray.
possession?
Here's the teardrop. And the basket
That's
is
a
good.
dumb
And he's
foul
got
by
a
me.
chance here for one more at the line.
Well, instead of
has
forcing
me
it all the way to
stressing.
the cup, he just goes
Not
with
lying.
that little teardrop.
The Bulls have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Here's Murray up on top. And here's Mirotic from beyond the arc. And the
I
last
trusted
second
him. I
attempt.
trusted him.
And that'll do it for
He's
the
a pretty
first
decent
half of
shooter for
competitive
him,
game so far. Raptors,
It's the 2K
I
Sports
did not like
Halftime Show.
how they
Hey, everybody,
came back.
welcome back from the first half. Been a dandy show. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time.
25,
The second
21.
quarter. And that does it for our
feel like we need to
halftime show.
dominate
We
even
now
more,
take you back
guys.
to Kevin
I'm
Harlan.
not happy with the 4-point game. So hopefully DeJounte Murray, he can just expand his lead.
and if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Paul George in this game,
25-21.
guy, he's been
I know.
everywhere.
I know.
Man, he's been running wild on them
Pull
through
away.
that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been
That
shouldering
was
the
hard.
load.
Should've been a
Aggressive,
flagrant.
skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
We've got Aaron Gordon and Van Vliet out there with C.J. McCollum. And it's Nikola Jokic. And it's Hood in at the small forward. And that's the group for Jim Boylan as we begin the second half.
Boy, when you look at the numbers and the impact for Paul George, there is no question he's been in the MVP conversation. The outside shooting, the ability to attack the rim, and the force he is on the defensive end, just so impressive.
Go.
Can't
Ooh,
hit
that
that
was
one.
supposed to be
And
in a
Chicago
bucket.
will go the other way with the ball. That one's good, and the Raptor lead is cut down to 4 on the bucket from Van Vliet. And Doris with George and his offense. Last season might have been his
three-ball.
best effort yet.
Yeah, Kevin,
Catch
he
and
had to
shoot.
take on more responsibility on the offensive end, and you could tell he has shot more and more threes. He gives his team a much-needed outside threat. You loved everything Paul George is able to give you.
And stolen by
I think
Biyombo.
Biyombo has played a
Redick
real
for
nice
3. And again,
Ooh,
Toronto
and
with the
JJ
triple.
with the 3.
The focus,
We are
the
pulling away.
precision. Once Redick gets any airspace to shoot the deep ball, he seizes on the opportunity.
Here's Jokic. Biyombo with the block.
Biyombo a baller.
Pass to Olynyk. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Jacks up a 3. And it's Chicago
That would
with the
have been
rebound.
crazy if JJ got
And here
that.
comes the break. And a wide open look for Hood. And good. And it takes a nice bounce
Okay,
off
let
the
him
right
score
iron
that.
and
That's cool
down.
with me.
That's the exceptional speed, Kevin, of the talented Rodney Hood. Leaks out with
Biyombo
perfection.
though,
And the
straight
Raptors
baller,
call
guys.
time here. Doris, such an honor to
You've
be
been
on
doing
this
so
with
much
you, and you were the first female
and
to
having so
become
much
a
effort.
full-time NBA
Shame I love
analyst.
to see it.
Breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are
I remember he got
graduating,
drafted.
looking
Everybody
to
was
get
thinking
ahead
about
in their
the-
career? And what
A
would
little
you
Shaq.
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The
believe he
game
got
of
drafted
basketball has
to
been a
the
part of my life since I
Bobcats
was 7. It's
when
been
they
a
were
driving
still around.
force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered
I kinda do miss the
this
Bobcats,
business. So kudos to those players
That boy
who
Adam
are part
Morrison.
of the change, no question.
And
Those
hard
are the
work. I have seen you
Vermont
work. I have
Sessions.
seen you
If you
prepare.
guys are Laker
No
fans, you
one
would know who
prepares
Vermont
more.
Sessions
No
is.
one works harder than
That was
that.
Kobe's point guard for a while.
Amazing individual performance, but you'd like to see more guys start to get involved. I don't know if he can do it alone.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked
that,
in.
7-point
The
game
throw
now?
good. Van Vliet. And only 6 feet tall in shoes. Fred Van Vliet's not the biggest, but his toughness grade, his toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon.
I should have pulled it the
Basketball
first
is the
time.
path to something better.
Kicks it out to McCollum. Over Redick. And again, no good by Chicago. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for Toronto. They've led by as much as 10. Barnes can't get it to go.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
The putback, great positioning on the
What
putback.
is that, 5
Well,
now?
Taj Gibson is so strong on the backboards. His ability to pursue the offensive glass is truly a thing to watch.
Redick for 3.
That's it. Come
Cans
on,
it from
JJ.
downtown.
Who do they
Redick's
think
got
JJ
6
is?
here in
He's
this
not a
quarter.
scrub.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
That man
Well,
is a
that's the
Duke
whole
legend.
point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Murray, the pass to Barnes. There's 37 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. And
nice
he
way to
gets
draw
the
the foul,
whistle. 2
Harrison.
free throws coming up.
Well, that's called doing the little things necessary to become a more prolific scorer. Barnes with the tricky up fake. Nice.
And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
Raptors leading by 7.
Hold it out for a bit.
Now here's Murray. 8 points for him. Great D that time from Gibson.
What more,
And
guys?
so
What
it's
more
the
could I do
Toronto
there?
Raptors heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Their lead is where it is
That's
because
right.
they've got
Show them highlights of Biombo. Getting those blocks on Jokic. 39, 32.
fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for
Yeah,
joining
making
us.
score on the floor right now is Dejounte. Who's next?
The Bulls
though?
shooting with confidence,
Nobody.
50% from
Oh,
the field so
Seth
far. So
I think
for
he had
Toronto
that.
right now, they've got
that's it,
Seth
that-
Curry.
It could have been a
E.J.
3.
Tucker is out there with Mirotic. Then there's DeJounte Murray.
Good D.
And it's
Good D.
Barnes, and it's the 3. The basket counts, and 1.
5-point game.
He'll go to the line with a chance to make it
5-point
a
game.
3-point play. The free throw is off from Gibson. Well, you talk about a player who is a consummate pro, Taj Gibson.
No doubt.
Nice
Taj is
shot,
a guy
BJ.
who has always approached the
I can
game
always
from
count
a
on him, I
veteran
think.
standpoint. He's
I
a
would
great
hope.
leader, great defensive player, and in between the lines and out, you can count on Taj Gibson.
Now Burke from 13, and yes, it's good. Burke's got his first 2 points of the night.
A crucial breakdown defensively, and he was quick to make him pay.
We call that execution, Greg.
didn't even
getting
mean
the
to
ball
shoot
to
that
the right
jumper,
guy
too.
where he can
That's the
do
worst
some
part.
damage.
Gordon, the pass to Gibson. Back to Gordon. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Murray with the defensive effort. Takes a 3. The shot off that time. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. And here we go. The Bulls fast break.
You've got to stay with Levert in transition. I'll tell you, if you let him outrun you, it's going to be a long night.
Toronto calls
How did
timeout.
this happen? I
And
am
during
not
this
sure.
timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating
You know,
themselves.
I think
with
I've had good
Gatorade.
shots.
All the effort
Open
out there on the
shots.
floor.
Some motherfuckers
These
been
timeouts
making
can
them.
be such a huge factor in getting a short rest and recharging the battery. Good checked in for Chicago. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Coach Nick Nurse talked to his team. He said, I want us to play as though we're behind. We're good when we play with urgency.
Nice
We're
put back.
bad when we become complacent. Don't become complacent. Let's go. Guys?
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Burke dishes to Gordon. Pass to Hood.
It's going to stop here.
5 to shoot. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. Jokic has checked in for the Bulls. Fred VanVleet comes in for Karis LeVert. And then for Toronto, Biombo is checked in for Mirotic. Paul George comes in for P.J. Tucker.
Get
And
Kelly
J.J.
Olynyk out of
Redick is
there.
subbed in for Seth Curry.
Well, Aaron Gordon welcomes the opportunity to be fouled. You cannot be careless with your defense.
And the first one goes. McCollum's checked in for Trey Burke. Mirotic is checked in for Toronto. He hits both from the stripe.
Well, this is the kind of player he is. The tougher the moment, the more he elevates his game.
Redick for three. Chicago grabs the miss. Jokic has got his 5th rebound in this one. And he hits it to tie the game
I don't
up.
know, guys.
Wow, what a time to tie this game up, guys.
Incredible fortitude to bounce back like this. I think we're setting up for an awesome finish.
Here's Murray. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
And that's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
You know, we talk about execution offensively coming down the stretch. To me, it's as important defensively, and they didn't have it.
Jokic inside, covered by Biombo. And it's Jokic missing. And Murray's got the ball here for Toronto. They've led by as much as 10.
Come on, George.
That's what you
Let's
expect
go.
from your leader. Paul George stays calm and doesn't get overwhelmed by the moment.
But he's 18 and 2.
Oh, here's VanVleet. Defense right on him. A 3 from McCollum. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. And that's now 9 points for C.J. McCollum. George against Hood. For 3, Murray. No good. And it's Chicago.
And he
the
was an
other
open
way.
shot. What more?
Hood on the wing, covered by Mirotic. And the ball
I'm just
goes out of
glad
bounds.
that they fumbled
Nice
that
touch by
pass.
Hood.
Wow, what a time for a turnover. Shows you just how key one play can be.
P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for the Raptors. Hood against George. Down low, outside for Mirotic. And the Raptors miss again.
Yeah.
There's 31 seconds left in the game. To the inside. Here's Gordon. Count it.
So much riding on that shot. What a bucket.
I'll tell you, that changes
That was horrible.
things, doesn't it? Good
That was
job,
horrible.
young fella. What a game.
Toronto calls timeout. They're behind by 1. There's 25 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And now he presents our Jordan player of the game.
And in terms of his shooting,
I don't know,
this is
guys.
one
I
of
don't know
the
if we're
more
gonna come back
accurate
to this.
performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. And that has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
How about the timing of Aaron Gordon? This guy has got the
Damn.
ability to rise up and send it back.
Insane.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
1 point
They're
game.
trailing by 1.
I don't even trust myself.
We've got 13
which
seconds
part?
left to play here in the 4th.
I don't trust the
Guys, your
defense.
thoughts?
This is where great coaching can pay dividends.
Well, this is a chance to take the lead, so you've got to draw up a play to make it happen.
Pass to Jokic. McCollum outside. Bullseye! Outside, George. Over Hood. Oh, he couldn't make that shot go to force overtime.
And we
so
lose.
A big win by Chicago in a tight game. That was a fun night of basketball. Fabulous.
And we
finishes
lose and we
to
go
continue
2-1 to start
to
first
wait
week of
out
the season.
until the very last moment to seal it.
How did we blow that lead, man? That was such a... It was a beautiful game, not gonna lie. How did we lose though, guys? How? Come on. New big board. I don't want to look at the big board. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Paul George was our player of the week. And Giannis on the West. Well, let's just check the league leaders. Paul George, KD, Ibaka, offensive rebounds, Zion. Defensive rebounds. Okay. Biyombo. I see him at 5th. Assists per game. Nobody on us. Chris Paul back on the Clippers? Okay. Steals DeJounte 2nd. Blocks. Turnovers. Field goals. Attempted. Okay. What else can I check? No, I think that's it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you are enjoying this little NBA 2K kind of playthrough type of thing, and the UFC one as well. If you haven't watched that one, I recommend you do. And just if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and just let me know, guys, if you enjoyed it or not. See you in the next video. Thank you.